All right, let's jump right in. We've all seen it, right? These massive digital projects. They get so complex, so huge, that they just grind to a halt. The coordination is just a nightmare. But what if I told you there's a really elegant solution to this?
And yeah, that solution, it brings us to a pretty wild question. What in the world does a top-tier DJ have to do with complex software systems? I know it sounds a little out there, but trust me, it turns out a lot. So stick with me on this one.
Okay, so let's talk about managing the chaos. The big problem, the thing that always bites us, is when systems become, well, monolithic. You've got this one central system trying to do absolutely everything. And what happens? It becomes a giant bottleneck. It's kind of like trying to have one single person run every single thing at a massive festival. It can't work. It doesn't scale. So to get past that bottleneck, we've got to find a way to break up the work, right? And that is where this really cool concept called Federated Delegation comes into play. This is the key. It's how we unlock real scale and efficiency by getting away from that single, totally overwhelmed central system.
All right, so what is federated delegation? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's put the analogies aside for just a second and look at the formal definition.
Okay, at its core, it's all about something called distributed orchestration. Sounds fancy, but the idea is simple. You have one main system, we'll call it the orchestrator, that can hand off or, delegate specific tasks to other systems. And the cool part is, those other systems can be anywhere. They could be in a different building, run by a totally different company, or just be a highly specialized tool for one specific job. People often use the analogy of a symphony conductor. And that's okay, it kind of works, but it's also a little stiff, a little old school. A way better, more modern, and honestly more dynamic way to think about this is to picture a headliner DJ at a massive music festival. Okay, so let's really lean into this music festival analogy. Picture it, it's a huge event, right? Multiple stages, thousands of people, music is just nonstop. The headliner DJ, they're the big name. They're in charge of the vibe. But there's no way they can be everywhere at once. And this is where it all clicks. This is how we map those abstract tech terms to something we can actually picture. So let's go down the list. The headliner DJ, that's our primary orchestrator. They run the whole show, they have the master plan. The guest DJs they bring in, those are the federated orchestrators. They're the specialists for a certain stage or sound. Now the set list, what they're actually playing, that's the workflow definition. It's the specific task that needs to get done. And all the different stages, that's our distributed environment. See? It all lines up.
So how does this actually happen under the hood? Well, the headliner makes a request. In our world, that's an API call. It's just a command. And this command needs two crucial things. First, it needs to know who it's for. That's the targetOrchestratorId, basically the address of the guest DJ. Second, it needs to know what to do. That's the workflowDefinitionId. Think of it as handing them the set list and saying, you're on the deep house stage, go. And once that instruction is sent, the guest DJ just takes over. They start their mix, totally on their own.
Okay, this all sounds cool, but why bother? What's the payoff? Well, this model isn't just a neat trick, it has huge, real-world benefits. Let's break down why this is so incredibly powerful.
Benefit number one, and it's a big one, scalability. We're talking about the ability to get massive without the whole thing just falling apart.
I mean, think about it, right? The headliner can't mix on 5 stages at the same time. It's impossible. By delegating those sets to other DJs, they completely avoid that bottleneck. And that means the festival can just keep growing. Add more stages, bring in more genres, attract more fans, and the main act never gets overwhelmed. That's true scalability.
Okay, next up, benefit number 2, specialization. This is all about letting the experts do what they do best.
And the analogy works perfectly here. Look, our headliner might be a god of techno music, but maybe their deep house game is just okay. So what do? They don't fake it. They delegate the deep house stage to a world-class specialist. This way, every single part of the festival experience is top-notch. You get the best performance on every stage.
All right, benefit number 3 is a huge one, resilience. How do you build a system that can take a punch and keep on going? So let's go back to the festival. Imagine a guest DJ is in the middle of an amazing set and poof, their equipment fails. Laptop's dead? Does the whole festival just stop? No way. The music keeps going. The headliner, our main orchestrator, sees the problem and can immediately redelegate that stage to another DJ who's on standby. That's resilience. One failure doesn't bring down the whole show. And for our final benefit, we've got something called policy enforcement. I know the name is a little formal, but what it really boils down to is autonomy. It's about letting each specialist do their thing their way.
This is so important. Each guest DJ, they bring their own gear, right? They have their own unique style, their own signature sound. They get to enforce their own policies on their stage. It gives them the freedom and autonomy to be creative and do what they do best, but it's all happening as part of the headliner's bigger, unified plan for the whole festival. It's the best of both worlds.
All right, let's bring it in for the final mix. What's the one big idea you should walk away with from all this?
It really comes down to this. Federated delegation is about smart collaboration. This isn't just about offloading work to someone else. No, it's about empowering specialists to do their absolute best work, all inside a single unified plan. It's a total game changer.
And that leaves us with one final question to think about. When you have systems that can work together this smoothly, it's not just about doing the same old things a little bit better. The real question is, what completely new things can we build? Now that all the DJs are collaborating, what incredible new kinds of music can they create together? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.